Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for over 165 million years before going extinct around 66 million years ago. But what if they didn't? What if some of these massive beasts were still walking the planet today? It might sound like a fun movie plot, but it raises an interesting question about their survival. Would dinosaurs be able to survive in today's world? Let's take a closer look at some of the most famous dinosaurs. Hello and welcome to Paleo Logic. Today we're answering a viewer's question. Could dinosaurs survive today? This is a great question, and there are a lot of things to consider. So let's break it down into different categories. First, there are millions of species alive today that were alive during the dinosaur era, including horseshoe crabs, cockroaches, and turtles. And yes, birds too, since birds are considered by many to be the descendants of theropods, a group that includes Velociraptor. So the fact that an animal was alive during the Mesozoic says nothing about its ability to survive today. What would be more telling is how well a given dinosaur would fare against animals that also evolved during the Mesozoic and which are still with us today, such as sharks, snakes, and crocodiles. In general, I think most people would agree that dinosaurs would do pretty well against modern animals in this category. While some dinosaurs like Ankylosaurus were slow-moving, many others like Gallimimus and Ornithomimus were built for speed. And they would likely have no problem outrunning today's fastest land predator, the cheetah, which reaches speeds of up to 75 miles per hour. Plus, there are few animals that could match the jumping prowess of a Maiasaura or the climbing abilities of a Camptosaurus. Even Triceratops could probably hold its own against a polar bear, which is the largest land predator alive today. And yeah, I think it would probably win in a fight against a lion too. But while large carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex would likely be at the top of the food chain in today's world, would smaller dinosaurs be able to survive? In particular, I'm thinking of small ornithischians like Psittacosaurus and the duck dinosaur, which is only about the size of a domestic cat. These dinosaurs would definitely be outcompeted for resources by modern animals. For example, there are hundreds of species of rodents alive today that could outscurry any dinosaur. And there are even insects that could prove problematic. Take, for instance, the bullet ant, which is known for having one of the most painful stings of any insect. The sting is so painful that it can put a human in excruciating pain for up to 24 hours. And while a large predator like T-Rex wouldn't have much to fear from an insect sting, a small dinosaur might feel differently. Imagine being the size of a cat and getting stung by an insect that delivers a sting comparable to being shot at. Small dinosaurs would have a tough time surviving against not just ants, but other biting insects like ticks and mosquitoes, which can carry diseases that could potentially wipe out an entire species. Speaking of disease, could dinosaurs withstand modern diseases that have evolved over millions of years? White nose syndrome is a fungal disease that has devastated bat populations across North America. It first appeared in the early 2000s and has since killed over 1 million bats. There is also avian malaria, which is spread by mosquitoes and affects birds. According to National Geographic, the disease is thought to have contributed to the extinction of several large flightless birds, including the dodo bird. Then there's chronic wasting disease, which is a prime disease found in deer and elk. It has been found in over 25 states and was recently discovered in a free-ranging black bear in the Appalachian Mountains. And these are just 3 examples of the many diseases that could pose a threat to dinosaurs. Even if a dinosaur could avoid contracting a deadly disease, it could be devastated by a naturally occurring ecological disaster like a volcanic eruption or an earthquake, and these events happen all the time. Mount Ibu, which is an active volcano in Indonesia, erupted in 2021, sending ash raining down on nearby villages and forcing thousands of people to evacuate. Meanwhile, an earthquake in Haiti in 2021 caused widespread damage and killed over 2,000 people. Dinosaurs would have to deal with not just these natural disasters, but also human-made ones. What if a dam broke due to disrepair? What if a hurricane hit a coastal city? And what if planes were flying overhead? Humans have only been around for about 300,000 years, yet we have already had a huge impact on the planet. We've altered the climate, destroyed habitats, and caused extinctions. Our cities are home to millions of people, and wildlife would have to find ways to navigate streets and roads. So far, we haven't even mentioned the most important factor, which is humans themselves. Hi, it's me. How would humans react to the return of dinosaurs? When news broke in 2020 that a fossil of a relative of Ankylosaurus had been found in South Texas, paleontologist David Hone speculated that if a relative of Ankylosaurus were to show up today, it would be treated as a dangerous invasive species and would be hunted to extinction. And I think he's right. We've already seen how quickly people were willing to kill off non-native species. When the brown tree snake arrived in Guam in the 1950s, it caused devastating declines in native bird and reptile populations. By the 1980s, 13 of the island's native forest birds were gone and 10 more were on the brink. People began hunting the snakes and dropping thousands of them off at the local zoo. Within a few years, the population had declined by 99%. Imagine if instead of a snake, it was a dinosaur. And to be fair, it's not like dinosaurs were super picky eaters. Tyrannosaurus rex was an extremely effective hunter, and most other dinosaurs were at least omnivores. They would quickly be declared a dangerous invasive species, and humans would do everything in their power to eradicate them. And the chances of a small herbivorous dinosaur would be equally bleak. People would likely capture them to put them in zoos or use them as a source of entertainment, kind of like what happened with the okapi when it was first discovered by Westerners in the early 1900s. Some were kept as pets while others were sent to zoos. Ultimately, it seems unlikely that dinosaurs would be able to survive today. They would face competition from modern animals, threats from disease, dangers from natural disasters, and the wrath of humans. What do you think? Could any dinosaur survive today? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd appreciate it if you followed our channel. We love making science videos like this one, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. If you want to support us even further, consider becoming a patron where you can help us make the best science videos we possibly can. Thanks for watching. See you.